What's up, everyone, and welcome back to the MMA Fast. Today, let's get started with Michael Page admits UFC London walkout was a direct jab at the promotion after recent criticism. It turns out Michael Page's ongoing frustrations with the UFC carried over to his pre-fight walkout at UFC London last Saturday night. Page and former training partner Sam Patterson squared off in a welterweight bout on the UFC London main card. While the fight proposed an intriguing stylistic matchup on paper, the bout barely had any action associated with it, as Page walked away with a lackluster decision win. Ahead of UFC London, Page didn't shy away from making his recent frustrations with matchmaking and lack of consistent activity known publicly. I've spoken about being frustrated with the decisions that were made. I think the main one for me was the fact that they put a young kid who is super talented but has only had one fight in the UFC as a co-main event. I felt disrespected. The effort in what I've delivered for the fans, even in that same arena and other arenas around the world. Even if I haven't necessarily gotten the finish yet, I've delivered some really entertaining fights, given people a lot to talk about, and made a lot of noise. To not put me in the co-main or main event, in my own backyard, I think the majority of fans were there to see me. Arman Tsarukyan teases featherweight move following Movsar Evloev's UFC London win. This past Saturday's event was headlined by a pivotal featherweight clash between Movsar Evloev and Lerone Murphy. After 5 rounds of action, Evloev scored the majority decision win. Tsarukyan took to his Threads account with an interesting poll, teasing a move down to 145 pounds. UFC fans, is it time for me to save the featherweight division? This isn't the first time a Halkalakets has hinted at changing his weight class. Yes, it makes sense. I'll beat Volk and then I'll hire him as my chef because when I beat him, he's going to retire and he's got to do something and I can pay good money for him to have a good chef like him. Tsarukyan was set to challenge Islam Makhachev for the UFC Lightweight Championship in January 2025. He ended up pulling out of the fight hours before the weigh-ins due to an injury. Ariel Helwani drops massive update on Conor McGregor's long-awaited comeback. Ariel Helwani recently shared a major update on Conor McGregor potentially returning to action this year. While McGregor was booked for a comeback fight against Michael Chandler at UFC 303 in June 2024, a toe injury forced him to withdraw from the bout. Given his status within the MMA community, it's no surprise that many are eager to see him throw down in the cage once again. In a recent episode of the Ariel Helwani Show, the veteran journalist shared some optimistic news. I continue to say the master of good timing, the beneficiary of the best timing in the history of the sport is Conor McGregor, because he is sitting there, being dramatic here. And I'm telling you, we told you about the meeting 2 weeks ago. I told you it went well. At this point, I think it would be safe to say that it would be a disastrous situation. Something disastrous would have had to happen if he was not fighting on July 11th. They need this now more than ever. They need Conor McGregor to be on this card. They have to do everything in their power to make this happen.